What is going on, guys? It's a beautiful night. Wow, I love my camera so much. I like this pathway we got to. It's pretty, huh? But yeah, another beautiful day. Oh, I got a haircut. I think the last video I did. Did I have a haircut? Oh, I did. Okay. Yeah, I did. But yeah, dude, I'm so glad I did too because it's so hot. Like, and then cause I work, as an Amazon driver, deliver packages. It cools me off instantly having this dry hair or this short hair, dry hair. So yeah, that was a win-win. I'm glad I did that. Dude, I haven't gotten sun for a month because I've been on vacation in Pennsylvania. So like now that I'm back working, you can literally see how like I'm already getting that color back. It's great. But man, it feels great to just walk right now. I took a shower. Water's a portal. So I got that water. I'm chilling. I reset the vibes. I'm good. I'm ready. I'm ready to make this video, which is about how your higher self is the real you and isn't. What was the word? There was a simple word I was trying to. Oh, I see. Your higher self is a bigger version of you. Oh, I guess I said it the same way. Think of your body as a shadow for your higher self, for your multidimensional self. Your physical form on Earth is your shadow for your real cosmic self, the self that you really are. Because this human experience, this body, this is only a fraction, if even that, of what you really are. But, our egos, we love emphasizing on it and thinking that this is all we are. But no, 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 we're so much more. Like, look at your hand, itchy. Look at your hand, look at your nose, your ears, your name, your memories, your personality, everything that you've experienced taught you, this is me, this is who I am. The ego and your identity, for sure, on the human level at least. But throughout spiritual and esoteric teachings, traditions, whatever, people have explored a much deeper outlook, I could say, is like, what if the person you currently identify as isn't entirely you? Which it isn't. What if it's just one simple expression of something larger, a shadow? Imagine consciousness as an enormous tree. At the bottom, there's roots. Above the roots, there's so these roots, they go to the ground. Everything, all these branches, it's all part of the something, but it's not the whole thing. You know what I mean? Same with you. Like it may appear to be that, oh, I'm just this human. I'm just this body. But not, if you were to look back and stand up and look at the bigger picture, you would see that you're so much more. So it's like on a tree, there's thousands of branches. If you only looked at the tips of those branches, they'd appear to be separate. One branch couldn't see what another branch sees. Each occupies a different position. Each experience, sunlight. Each branch experiences sunlight differently. Each grows in another direction. But beneath everything, they belong to the same organism. Now imagine each branch represents a different expression of consciousness, different perspective, different possibilities, different version of you. And at the root represents what some traditions might call the higher self. What's that? What is that? Oh, never mind. I saw a light in the sky. I'm like, that's just a plane. I was like, UFO? But yeah, at the root, it represents The higher self. Not another person, but the higher self. Not some cosmic stranger, controlling you with a fucking joystick like a video game, but a larger level of identity. Something beyond the individual character that we have here, the ego. Way bigger. And this connects beautifully with the previous videos I made. It's like we explored the infinite possibilities of Earth, timelines, parallel versions of you, Earth. Now here comes the deeper question. If multiple versions exists, which they do, would there be something connecting them? Yeah. Consciousness is multidimensional. So, it exists not just here that we perceive reality, but in other densities, and other star systems, and other ways of experiencing a life. The everyday personality experiences reality from one particular point, while a broader awareness exists beyond that perspective. Like, think about your own body. Billions of cells exist inside of you. Each performs its own function. Yet together, they create something larger. You. And then you zoom outward even more. What if individual consciousness works similarly? It's like a bird screaming in the distance. Sounds weird. What does that sound? But anyways, you zoom out more, right? What if what we call me is one localized perspective inside something much larger? This isn't something that science has established, because if people want proof in science and facts and whatever, but this is more of a how I see it. And it's fascinating the way that I see it, because it's like consciousness itself is still mysterious, but it's beautiful. And it's something that you can't put into words, at least in the human language. But we know experiences occur. Colors, thoughts, love, fear, memory, awareness. But why subjective experience itself exists at all remains one of the biggest, questions, sure. And that's where people like me in the spiritual community venture beyond what we currently know. Like, what if consciousness isn't merely something that you individually possess? What if individuality is one way consciousness expresses itself? Suddenly, the higher self becomes like a supernatural guardian, and more like a symbol for an expanded identity. So, like, the ego says, I am this character, I am my body, whereas awareness, the real you, says, I'm experiencing this character, I'm experiencing this body, but I am not it. You feel me? So there's a difference in the way that you would look at it. And that's how I look at it. And so then the higher self even asks, how much larger could the experience be? And maybe that's why deep spiritual experiences are sometimes described as remembering. Because people don't always ask, people don't always say, I learned something, right? No, they say, I remembered. Remembered connection, remembered awareness, remembered that the boundaries around identity felt less solid than they once were, or once appeared, I should say. Whether you interpret that spiritually or symbolically, whatever, the experience itself can be profound. Because suddenly life isn't about protecting the character, winning an argument, because that's ego shit, or maintaining every label, proving yourself to everyone. You begin loosening that grip. You observe, you experience, you create, you love, you laugh, and the character remains important, but it stops being the entire universe, you know? So maybe you're that branch, the tree. Maybe you're the wave in the ocean. We don't know. Or at least the ego don't know, but deep down in the soul, you know. Right? You don't know how you know, but you know. But that's what makes consciousness so fascinating. Because there's always mystery, there's always learning and remembering. So perhaps awakening begins when you're willing to ask, what if the person I've spent my entire life calling me is only one layer of who I really am? Because it is. And when you remember that, you humble yourself. And you stop feeling so limited and stuck and believing that, oh, this is who I am and this is how it is, blah, blah, blah. No, you humble yourself because you realize that you're just having an experience. So why are we taking it so serious? Why can't we just have fun and enjoy it? Let's do that. Let's exactly do that. Let's have fun and let's enjoy this experience. That's what we're here for. So do it. I'll see you in the next one, guys, tomorrow. I gotta get some sleep. Gotta go astral travel, you know? Rest my vessel and shit. No, for real though. When you sleep, your mind travels, or your consciousness. And that's just part of the experience, isn't it? It's beautiful. Namaste, lady guys.